Yo, 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 what's going on, man? As you people join in, let's go ahead and get settled. See if we can get to some money today, man. The show was requested by the people. It's Sunday, but we still trying to cash, man. December 18th, 2022, another edition of the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. If y'all wouldn't mind, man, send me a like or something. Hit the like button, retweet the show, share it with your coworkers, your family, everybody trying to make a little Christmas money, a little extra Christmas money real quick before you get them last second gifts. So hit the button, man. Let's go. Let's get into the slate for today. We got a few games on Sunday, man. Sunday janky though. We know Sunday's janky, so you got to prepare for the jankiness, man. Only take what you absolutely love on Sundays. Try to stay away from the BS, bro. Try to stay away from the BS. I see this Orlando and Boston game kind of dropping. It opened at I think it was 10.5 or 11. I see money coming in on Orlando again, down to 9.5 total, 222, 223. So we're gonna talk about that game. We're gonna talk about all the games real quick. And I uh I I want to open it up though, I'm always honest with you guys. I didn't necessarily cap all these games today. I don't have a play in every game. Of course, I don't have a play in every game, but a couple of these games I haven't even broken down yet. I do have all the injury information. Got some things that I'm looking at for sure. I've placed one bet already today. I got my eyes set on something else. That'll be two bets, and then and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it so far. So if y'all uncap the games, or if y'all got looks, or just kind of want to talk some things out, feel free to send me a request. We can do the show a tad bit different. But I can tell you guys what I got on every game. If we don't get a lot of participation or a lot of people wanting to share looks, then that's totally fine as well too. But if y'all got something, send me a request. I'll get you guys up. We can cap the games together, for real, for real. But I am trying to get out of here in about 40 minutes though, because I do want to watch the games, watch the football games. So let's get into the slate for today. First game up, like I said, the Magic and the Celtics. Line in this one, like I said, opened at 10.5. Let me get the banner up real quick. People watching on YouTube. What up, Markel Zachariah, my guy? Uh, McKinney, I think is how you pronounce that. All right, cool. Let's get into it. So, first game up is the Magic and the Celtics game. So we know the Magic shocked the world on Friday night and beat the Boston Celtics outright as a 10 point or 11 point dog. Can't remember exactly what it was, but we talked about that game being a tad bit funky, a funky spot for the Celtics coming back from the West Coast, even though they had a couple days to prepare. Coming back from that West Coast trip, it was their first. Excuse me, it was their first game back home. Also trying to integrate Robert Williams, who came off the bench, Al Horford, who was hitting people below the belt and got kicked out the game. Now you get them in a revenge spot, home revenge spot. But they're also without Tatum, and I think that makes a big difference. Offense does take a tad bit of a step back without Tatum. We've seen this team function well throughout the season when they had key guys out. Al Horford's been out. Of course, they haven't played with Robert Williams all year. Marcus Smart missed a game here and there. Jalen Brown, same thing. Same thing for a guy like Malcolm Brogdon. Like, they've had guys miss time, but Tatum missing this game. Orlando, one of the hottest teams in the NBA. I think they're on a 5-game win streak. Just a win like that just gonna boost their confidence a lot. They're still without Suggs and without Harris in this game, but Magic been playing well. Like I said, they've been playing really, really well. One thing I looked at was, one thing I did get a chance to look at in this game was just kind of wanting to feel the energy for this Boston Celtics team. Kind of feel, what's been going on, because they haven't been shooting the ball as well recently. As they once were when the season first started. Look, last 4 or 5 games haven't been that great. We know what happened when they went to Golden State. Feels like forever now. When they went to Golden State, they also lost to the Clippers. Let the Lakers come back, had to go to overtime in that game, and now you come home and you lose a game. So is it a bounce back spot? I think so. I think the Celtics. I think this is a bounce back spot. One thing I'm looking at in this game, though, and I got this in my bet slip, haven't placed it yet, is the under. When you see two teams that go over the total in those first matchups on the first leg of the back to back, and it's the same spot within the course of 7 days, Typically, that second game goes under. I don't have the percentage in front of me, but those games go under. So I'm looking for Orlando not to be able to score. I'm looking for Boston to rely on their defense in this spot, especially without Jason Tatum. And I'm looking for them to kind of shut down the Orlando Magic. Orlando scored, I think, 117 points. They won that game 117 to 109 on Friday. You look at the Orlando Magic. I got them. So one thing I think that is interesting to know. I talk about this all the time. First game of a back-to-back. The Orlando Magic are on a back-to-back. I forgot who they play, but they do play tomorrow. Let's see real quick. They play Atlanta tomorrow in Atlanta. So teams playing on the first leg of a back-to-back, specifically the Orlando Magic, they're 3-1 to the under in this spot. You kind of got to save something for the next game. It's crazy. I talked about it on Friday. I didn't think it was applicable in that situation, but you see teams kind of just give up, throw in the towel when they got the second leg of a back-to-back in their next game. The Portland Trailblazers gave up. I'm pretty sure a lot of people was on Dame in that game. Portland gave up in that spot. We saw what happened when they gave up. They got smacked, and I think this is the spot where Orlando comes out probably. Not even Orlando. I think the Celtics imposed their defensive will on this game. So I like the under. Like I said, Orlando 3-1 to the under on the first leg of a back-to-back. They're only averaging 101 points in this spot on the first leg of a back-to-back. The Orlando Magic is. You also look at the Magic. They're 2-0 to the under after scoring more than 109 points in their last game. I mentioned they scored 117. So this is not a team that consistently scores a lot of points, specifically in away games. They're only 2-11. I also wanted to mention that as well. Only 2-11. They got their second win of the season in that game on the road specifically. So 2-0 to the under after scoring more than 109 points in their previous game, as long as it's an away spot. And like I said, no Tatum for the Celtics. Offensive rating drops about 6 points when Tatum's not playing in those games. Robert Williams is back and Al Horford is back. So all of that should contribute to the under in this game. I like the under 223. I also look really, really hard at the Orlando Magic team total under 106.5, but didn't get there. The under 123 is on my best slip, though. What I did play already, though, the one play that I did play already was a play that comes from this game, and it's Marcus Smart. I played his assist over 7.5. I got it at minus 108. Upset with myself because when I fell asleep last night capping the game, it was plus money. I think it was plus 100. But I like Marcus Smart in this spot. I like him a lot. Back-to-back 8-assist games versus the Magic this season, averaging 14 potential assists versus the Magic. They just played on Friday. He had 8 assists. He had 16 potential assists in that game. So I think Boston gets back to knocking down some shots today. Not to overlook Orlando, but I feel like after you lose to a team, God damn, AD expected to miss a month? Oh, man. All right, never mind. God. All right, so going back to Marcus Smart assists, coming off 16 potential assists, like I said, averaging 7.3 on the season, so right on that number. 12 potential assists is what he's averaging on the season. But you look at Tatum, without Tatum, who is second on this team in assists, Tatum's averaging 4.1 assists on 7.7 potential assists. I just think that Marcus Smart probably has the ball in his hand just a tad bit more. And I like him to go. He could potentially, I think, hit double-digit assists in this game. So I did play Marcus Smart assists. Also, shout out to what's the dude name? Hold on for a second. I gotta find it real quick. Shout out to Stick. I know a lot of people probably just started following Stick. Stick actually from VA, and I don't know him, but my boy know him, and he told me about what Stick was doing with the $10 to 10K challenge, and he actually completed it yesterday. So shout out to Stick, man. Looking at that, that's extremely inspirational. A lot of people DM me about those all the time. I've never done one of those, but I do feel like one of the legs that you could put in one of those today is Marcus Smart. You could take Marcus Smart at about the 6 assists and, add something else, dumb something else down till you get yourself to about plus money. And that, I think that's a solid leg for one of those, $10 to 10K challenges just to get you a leg. I definitely think Marcus Smart goes over the 6 assists today. Like I said, I played him at 7.5, so I think he gets 8. I definitely think he gets 6. So I like Marcus Smart a lot today. If you wanted to do the challenge, if you wanted to play him straight, whatever the case might be, you're looking to build a little parlay. Marcus Smart assists over 7.5. In the under 223. Like I said, I got that sitting in the best slip. Didn't play that yet. I see it being a defensive game today, though. Knicks and the Pacers, the next one. I made a little quick cap video on this game earlier. Check out my YouTube page if you guys haven't already. But what I'm looking at in this game, so Duarte is questionable. I think everybody for the Knicks is good. The Knicks been balling. I don't know if people actually been paying attention. The Knicks have been on fire, man. I think first quarter, first half, we know they're one of the best teams. Opposite, we know the Pacers are one of the worst teams. And that's what I talked about in the video. Pacers 8-21-1 against the spread in the first quarter, worst in the league. 4-11 ATS in the first half. So that's the fewest amount of wins in the first half. They're 1-4 ATS last 5 at home. You look at this team, they're allowing the second most first quarter points on the season and have the biggest plus minus gap in the league. They're losing the first quarter by average of 5.2. You look at the last 10 specifically. What have you done for me lately? They're allowing 30.6 points, which is the fifth most and the third worst in the first quarter differential over the last 10 games specifically. Knicks, opposite side, longest active win streak in the league. They've won 6 games in a row, and it's primarily because of how hot they've been to start the games. They're 18-10-1 against the spread in the first quarter. They are just 7-8 first quarter ATS on the road, but 4-1 ATS last 5 road games. The only one that they lost was against the Chicago Bulls the other day. Chicago did beat them 32-29 in the first quarter, and they bounced back well in that spot. Won the game, of course. And they've been doing it with their defense. I think they're allowing like 97 points per game. So I know they got that best defensive rating. I didn't even have to look at that. I know they got the best defensive rating last 5 games, probably last 10 games as well. It started when they played against, I know a lot of people was on Cleveland in that game. I think that was 2 weeks ago when Cleveland went to New York and the Knicks held them to 82 points or something like that. And this Knicks defense has been rolling ever since. Last 10 games, the Knicks have won 7 first quarters. They have the best plus minus in the league at a plus 5.1, and they're holding their opponents to a league low 23.7 points. Love the Knicks first quarter money line. You get it at a minus 114 right now. That's also in my bet slip. That's what I put in the video. So if you guys don't have time to check the video out, I'm gonna just give y'all that one. So I played the Knicks first. Well, I didn't play the Knicks first quarter, but it's in my bet slip. Knicks first quarter money line minus 114 is what I saw that. Talked about the under in the Boston Celtics game, and Marcus Smart assists over 7.5 is something that I did play. Let's move on. So Nets in the Pistons is the next game. These be the funky spots right here. These be the real funky spots. You get an away dog laying all these points on the road. Kyrie just hit a game winner the other day in Toronto. You know that the Pistons are terrible at home, worst defensive team last 2 weeks at home. I talked about that the other day. So only injury news we got is Patty Mills being listed as out in this game. We got one big thing. I kind of keep talking about this trend over and over again. Is the away favorites when they're laying 8.5 points or more on the road this season. Just 3-9 against the spread, with the last 4 losing those games outright. It happened yesterday in Memphis. It happened yesterday in OKC. The Grizzlies lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder without Josh Giddey, without SGA, after Ja Morant got threw out yesterday. So Memphis was laying 10 on the road yesterday. They lost that game outright. The Cavs lost to the Spurs earlier this week, I think they were laying 9 in that game. Not only did they lose the game, but they lost the cover as well. They didn't cover the game or win the game. The Bucks lost to the Rockets last Sunday in this spot as well. They didn't just lose the game, they won the game outright as well. So ATS loss and a regular loss. And the Bucks lost to the Magic about 2 weeks ago. Same spot. They covered the spread, but they did win the game. The Bucks did win that game, but they lost. They didn't cover the spread in that one. So, like I said, away favorites land more than 8.5 points, just 3-9 against the spread this year on the season. Also, this is the biggest spread that the Nets have been asked to cover all season on the road. They were asked to cover 7.5 against the shorthanded 76ers when Ben Simmons went back home to Philly, and they were embarrassed and lost that game outright before going on the road and beating who did they beat? The Toronto Raptors in the second game of a back-to-back. The Pistons are horrible in the first quarter. One of the spots that I lost in on Friday was the Pistons. Because I took the Kings minus the 1.5 in the first quarter, thinking that they would kind of roll over that energy after beating the Toronto Raptors. and specifically in the second half, but that didn't work. The Pistons are still just 4-10 ATS in the at home in the first quarter, which is the worst in the league. You look at the Brooklyn side, they're 17-13 ATS in the first quarter on the season, 9-6 against the spread in the first quarter on the road, including 4-1 ATS last 5 games. I couldn't hit the button though. I could not hit the button on that one. So that's one way I'd be looking at this one. I don't think that I think the Nets can they can go to Detroit and absolutely smack the Pistons up. I totally agree with that. I just worry about a motivational spot. The Pistons are one of those teams that typically play better on Sundays for whatever reason, not 100% sure why. And they typically score a lot of points as well. So one of the things, matter of fact, I'm going to share my screen real quick so you guys can see this for the people that's watching on YouTube. The Pistons and you just type in day equals Sunday. Let's see if we can get this. They score a lot of points on Sunday. So I'm going to share my screen real quick so you guys can see this for the people that are watching on YouTube. So what I have here is just Pistons on Sundays. You see that they're 2-3 against the spread. They've only won one of those games outright. They've lost 4, but they're 4-1 to the over. You see they're giving up 119.8 points, which pretty much is 120 points per game. They're scoring 116 a game. So what that tells me is that their team total typically isn't 116. And these games have all primarily been played at home, besides that one game against the Kings where they fought the Kings pretty tough in that game in Sacramento. But what this is telling me is that teams aren't taking the Kings serious teams aren't taking the Pistons serious on Sundays. You see that they're still getting outscored in their first quarter by average margin of 5 points. That's 33-28. There's a 5-point gap in the first quarter. They typically come back with something in the second quarter and they win by 4. And then it's a dogfight in the second half before eventually they just run out of gas in the fourth quarter. You see the fourth quarter differential of 25.4 points to 28.2 points. So I do think all of that is very, very interesting to note. I know that the Nets can rely solely on their offense to be able to score when you got guys like KD and Kyrie, and they're also healthy right now. So I could see this one probably going over the total. I don't think that the Pistons play any defense. Even if they do, I don't think they can stop KD and Kyrie. So I guess what I'm saying is I'd be looking towards the over in this game. You see the total right here, 4-1 to the over. That's an 80% hit rate just for the Pistons playing on Sundays. If you look at the Nets specifically on Sundays, let's see what they are. 2-2, so no real big differential. Total on this one is 229, so it's a pretty high total. But if you go back, the Nets are going. I'm sorry, this says Nets, but it's actually the Pistons. You can see it right here. I just hit the back button. These games are averaging what 116 and 119. That's what 237. So 237 gives you a pretty good gap, especially if you think the Nets aren't going to score a lot of points. I'm sorry, not going to play a lot of defense. And the Nets can. I'm sorry, the Pistons can actually get to their team total. I'm pretty sure it's not set at 116 and a half. So that's what I got for you guys there. I'm gonna stop sharing, get back here. How do you feel about Smart PPD 8 assists in the win? I gotta like the 8 assists in the win because I do expect them to win the game, Super Kels. And I already took the 7.5 assists, so I like it. I don't think that they lose back-to-back games to the Orlando Magic. Then again, it is Sunday. I just don't expect that. One of the things I heard in that game was Brogdon talk about how he felt like the team wasn't ready. They weren't locked in. So to me, and he also said that they will be locked in for this game. The quote, and I wrote it down. He said, going back real quick to that Magic and Celtics game, Brogdon said he said we'll be ready. We'll be ready on Sunday. That's what he said. So I do expect them to win the game. Robert Williams being back, even without Tatum, I like the Celtics to bounce back and win that game. I can see it being a blowout too. Could definitely see it being a blowout. So that's what I got for you guys there. Moving along to the Warriors and the Raptors game. Not a game that I'm extremely interested in. I'm looking for some props in this one. I want Dante DiVincenzo props. They aren't listed yet. We know that the Warriors will be without Wiggins. I saw multiple reports and they kind of conflict each other. I saw one that said Wiggins could potentially return for the Raptors game. We know that he is from Canada, so he's from Toronto, somewhere up there in Canada. Draymond and Clay are both probable. Of course, Steph is out for the next month. I think is what they listed him at. Gary Trent Jr. is questionable in this game. OG Anunoby's still out in this one as well. The total in this one shot down. It opened at, let's see what I saw the total at. I saw it open at 228. It's all the way down to 223. Raptors in dire need of a win. They haven't been able to get a win. They fought really, really hard and tough in that Friday game. Still at the crib. So you would, kind of favor the Raptors. The Warriors look good in the first half against the 76ers the other day. 76ers put them away in the second half. But I low key want to take the Raptors in the first quarter. I think that they have to come out with something. I think you can't overlook any team when you've lost as many games as they have and looked as bad as they have. But without having OG Anunoby, it really just kind of scares me, man. It really, really scares me, especially if you get Draymond on Siakam. The Warriors have a lot to prove as well. This is a team that doesn't have Steph Curry, and I know a lot of guys are thinking about this game and thinking to themselves, "Hey, we got to show up. We got to be able to show up and show that we're more than just Steph Curry on this team." So I like I said, really, really, really weird spot overall. I think both of these teams have days off tomorrow. I would only be able to look towards the Raptors. I don't know if the Raptors are going to win this game by 6 though. I would probably look to the Raptors first quarter, first half. They typically let things kind of slide away in the second quarter. I know that at least recently, Fred VanVleet has looked amazing. I think back-to-back 39-point games. Like I said, Kyrie just put a dagger in them, which actually makes me like the Raptors even more in this spot. We know that the Warriors don't play defense, specifically on the road. It's atrocious, but they're coming off a couple of losses as well. So two desperate teams trying to prove something to each other. One thing I looked at was the Warriors without Steph. They're averaging I think it was so their average their offensive rating drops from 116 to 103 without Steph Curry. Hence why I think you see a lot of money come in on the under. This under shot down. The total has shot down, like I said earlier, from 228 all the way to 223. I see it at. And honestly, I think it could go under that. I haven't capped this game completely though, so I'll move past this one. Like I said, I'm looking for some Dante DiVincenzo props in this one, but like I said, I didn't play anything. So Bulls and the Timberwolves, another really difficult game to cap. Don't have a lot on this one just because we're still kind of waiting on the news for D'Angelo Russell uh, and Gobert, who both missed the last game, Friday night game. Get the banner up. Yeah, get the banner up. So the Timberwolves were, let's see, Minnesota. They opened at 1 point dogs. They're up to 1.5 point dogs. So money is coming in on Chicago. Y'all know how I feel about Chicago. I don't bet the Bulls. They are atrocious to me. Total in this one's going up from 229 to 231.5, which to me kind of indicates that, if Minnesota's gonna be able to score, they gotta have somebody in there to be able to score. I know Jordan McLaughlin is still out. And like I said, D'Lo and Gobert are both still questionable. If they're in, I'm taking the Timberwolves. I'm probably taking the Timberwolves. Timberwolves need a win. If they get those guys back, I just don't trust the Bulls. Javante Green was listed as probable. I think he just got downgraded to questionable. And Ayo DeSumo is listed as probable as well. Bulls can't buy a win. They're in desperate need of one. But we know they don't function well on the road. They went out west on a road trip and were absolutely atrocious in pretty much all of those games. And I think the Timberwolves needing to win and being at the crib, gives the upper hand to the Timberwolves. So not really sure how I'm gonna play this game, but I do want to kind of back the Timberwolves if I can get Rudy Gobert and D'Lo in there. Hornets and the Nuggets. This is a game where we probably don't see any defense. We know both of these teams are atrocious on the defensive end. I'm talking about like really bad. The Hornets probably the worst defense in the league. The Nuggets don't seem to be playing any type of defense either. Just giving up points after points. I think the total has gone up in this game, even though it opened. Oh, it actually came down. So opened at 237.5, is down at 235.5. The spread has Denver opening at 8.5. It's up to 9 at most books. I'm not laying 9 points with Denver against nobody. Uh, they have not shown me when you lay 9 with somebody, you expect them to be able to play some defense. Denver plays no defense. Charlotte got LaMelo back. They didn't look good against Atlanta the other day, but I would only be able to look towards some kind of. And I'm not playing this game. If I played it, it'd probably be a team total. probably over for either one of these teams, honestly. But I'm not getting involved with a total at 235. I do feel like this is it's a game where both of these teams could score. Let me see something real quick. Let me see. So Charlotte 7-6-1 ATS on the road, just 4-10 in their last 4-6 in their last 10 games. They're 6-5. Denver is 6-5 against the spread at home, but just 4-6 in their last 10 games. So neither one of these teams are covering. I think Michael Porter Jr. is still out. Let me see if I get that news. Jokic is probable. Jamal Murray is probable. PJ Washington, I think, is listed as probable as well. I think he missed the last game. Michael Porter Jr. is still out. The Hornets are 0-4 ATS their last 4 games overall. 4-0 to the over. Following a double-digit loss at home. So they typically come back and score points, but like I said, they're not playing any defense. Denver 0-6 their last 6 games, playing on 1 day's rest. 1-6 last 7 overall. Yeah, I'm not looking to. These are 2 teams that I'm not looking to back either one of them. Hornets just 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games in Denver. You do get the altitude now that I think about it. Charlotte coming from off a couple home games, having to fly out west and play in altitude. Does Charlotte play tomorrow? Typically, they don't play tomorrow. No, they do play tomorrow. Charlotte plays tomorrow in Sacramento. Not a spot you really want to back them in. That's also going to be a 3rd game in 4 nights for them as well. Let me see what my guy Finesse just sent me. Oh yeah, I don't want to see that Finesse. I saw that already, bro. So Charlotte, they have lost 7 games in a row, 8 of their last 9. 8 of their last 10, haven't covered a spread in their last 5 games. You can't get behind this team, man. Even if they are playing a team like Denver, I'm not looking to back them at all in this spot, man. Player props galore in this game, though. I just haven't looked at anything. So y'all let me know what y'all on in that one. I'm trying to hurry up and get through the games. Like I said, nothing official for me in that one. The last game of the day is the Washington Wizards traveling to the Los Angeles Lakers. Let me get this banner up real quick. So line this one opened at 4.5 in favor of the Lakers. It's kind of still there, about 4.5. Total in this one opened at 228.5. 228.5. It's all the way up to 235. So the books are telling you that they expect points. Lakers don't play defense, and the Wizards don't play defense. We know that the Wizards don't play any type of defense. LeBron is listed as probable. Wendell Gabriel is out. AD is out. I just gave you guys that information. He's out for about a month. Bill has not been ruled out for this game yet. He was listed as questionable yesterday with a hamstring injury, and of course he didn't play in that game. But they haven't provided an update at all. This is the late game, so I advise people. This is a 9:40 Eastern start time, so I advise people to kind of pay attention to the update, because they'll have shoot around, and they'll be able to provide some more news, which is one of the reasons why I don't want to play this game. I do think that if Bill doesn't play, it doesn't really matter if Bill plays or not. I think Kuzma has a big game today. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet the other day, but he tweeted about stepping off the plane and nothing being like having some that LA breeze kind of hitting you in the face or something like that. So I also look at Kuzma, what he did yesterday. I think yesterday might have been a look ahead game for him. They played the Clippers yesterday. They look good in the first half, but they just can't sustain any type of defensive effort at all. Ended up losing that game and didn't cover the spread yesterday against the Clippers. Lost that game 102-93, laying 5 points in that spot. And you look at Kuzma specifically. Kuzma had 17 points on 8 for 18 shooting. He finished with 6 rebounds and had 2 assists. To me, I think it's because he was probably looking ahead to today's game. We know it's a revenge game every time he plays against the Lakers. He's going to try to give them everything he got. The Lakers, when you subtract AD, I'm not even sure what it is. I can look at it real quick, but I know that the total for the other team gets extremely high. I also think that the Wizards probably saved something for today's game, knowing that they had a back-to-back after facing the Clippers yesterday. The Lakers got to start stacking up some wins, so I would look for them to win this game. I'm not picking the Lakers to cover any kind of spread, even though they did beat Denver after AD got hurt in that game. And they're playing a little bit better ball. Went down to the wire with the Boston Celtics as well, but Sundays are weird, man. So I'm probably gonna stay away from the spread. if I had a look, I would take the Lakers just because the Washington Wizards defenses look so bad. I would also go back to a guy like Westbrook who had a triple double in the last game. Without AD, he's going to need to score a lot more points. He's going to need to facilitate. And I just talked about the Wizards defense being atrocious. Also, revenge game for the Washington Wizards. I mean, I guess you could say it was a revenge game. uh, Russell Westbrook was traded for Kuzma, so he was on the Wizards. So I can see Westbrook kind of turning up, rocking the baby 3-4 times, doing it too small in a spot like this. So nothing that I played, but I'd be looking at Kuzma props, especially if Bill is not available in this game. And I would probably be looking at the Lakers probably early in this one as well. But that's what I got, man. That's what I got. Like I said, the only things that I did lock in is the Marcus Smart over 7.5 assists. I got it at a minus 107, I think it was. Got the under 223 in my bet slip. Didn't place that yet. And Knicks first quarter money line minus 114. Pacers are horrible in the first quarter. Knicks, like I said, best team in the league right now in the first quarter, last 5 games. So if y'all got requests, man, we got about 15 minutes, about 13 minutes, actually 12 minutes before the games for football games actually start. So I want to get as many people up here that, done cap the games or got a look that they want to share or a question they want to ask as I can in that time. And we're going to start with my guy, Dream. Dream absolutely been cashing. If I was y'all, I probably get Dream a follow. Dude been on fire lately. I've been following you, Dream. Been following you a lot, bro. Like the looks, like the ladders, like the a lot of what you bringing, bro. I think you found a lot of value as well. So I want to kick it to you, Dream. What's going on with you, my brother? Appreciate you being here.
Oh man, I appreciate the kind words, my guy, always. So first off, I agree completely with Kuz and Russ, like the revenge factor, but also Thomas Bryant. I'm not sure if he was drafted to the Wizards, but I know he used to play for the Wizards. So
yeah, he was drafted to the Lakers, Dream, and then they ended up on the Wizards, and then came back with the Lakers. So yep, I like that look a lot with no AD.
Okay.
And
he should be getting force fed from Russ. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But my number one look that I already put in was LaMelo Ball over 3.5 threes. So, they do play tomorrow. So if it's a blowout, he may not play the fourth quarter. But in his games that he's played, he's only played 5 games this season. He's gone over this 3.5 number every game except for the first game. And as far as attempts, the last 2 games, he's taken 13 threes. He's gone 5 of 13, 7 of 13. And, I mean, every game this season, he's taken at least 8 threes. So I really like LaMelo to keep shooting threes. I know he's going to get the volume. So if it's shot falling, he can cover that in the first half. So that's the only play I put in. As far as like ladders for that game, obviously LaMelo threes. But if it's a close game, I think Joker is either points or assists. I'm not sure which one. They got points at plus 950 for 40, and his assists 14 plus 700. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna do, but I may sprinkle one of those. And the last thing I want to bring up is I love Julius Randle today. I put in a little parlay with him to have 25 and 10. As we know, the Pacers just give it up to big men, usually centers, but Mitchell Robinson not really a scoring threat, and Julius Randle been playing great, so I like him today. I'm gonna find some way to get him going.
To get behind Julius Randle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I like the looks, Dream. I like the looks. So tell me again, what you want, Dream? You got LaMelo over 3.5, which I absolutely love. I was on his assist the other day, and instead of him getting 7.5 assists, he almost had 7.5 threes. So I'm with you. I'm with you there.
Nah, that's a fact. That's my only official play.
Okay.
But I'm gonna get there somehow with Randall points, rebounds, maybe a ladder with points. But I really like him today. And if the game is close, I like Joker.
Joker, okay.
Like the 3 players I'm targeting.
Okay. Yeah, I got to call real quick. Got to hit Mom Duke's back. But yeah, I like the looks, Dream. Like the looks a lot, bro.
I appreciate
you. Yeah, absolutely, Dream. I think I mean that Jokic look is I think you just kind of keep playing Jokic until they get Michael Porter Jr. back, because you need somebody to be able to score the ball. So love Jokic in this matchup as well. Hold on for a second. I know this real life when you got to text mom in the middle of the show and be like, "Hit you right back, mom. Love you."
Mom is the most important. Do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just hit her back. Appreciate you, Dream. Hope you cash all of them, bro. Love the looks, bro. Love the looks. Let me kick it to LJ. LJ, what's going on, my guy? How you doing?
What's going on, Chris? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, my guy. Yes, sir.
You know, I usually do just football on Sundays. I really don't mess with the NBA, but
What
you
you?
know where I'm going, Chris.
What
I
you-
told you Friday. What did I cash Friday? Nick Claxton. He
Uh-huh.
had 6 blocks, bro. So what are we doing today, Chris? We going back to him.
He
In the East.
he had 2.5. He had 2.5. LJ.
He had 6 blocks.
No, I'm saying he had 2.5 again.
Yes, I'm going 3 plus.
Okay.
100.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. If they go keep giving me plus money, Chris, I'm gonna keep bleeding you, bro. They're gonna understand, you know what I'm saying, that this boy is a monster on these blocks, especially versus an Eastern Conference team. So they're playing Detroit today. I'm expecting him to get 3 plus again. That's my only NBA play today because I'm heavy on NFL on Sundays. But once I looked at the schedule, I see the Nets are playing today on the road on the East. Nick Claxton, Chris, 3 plus blocks, plus 100. That's my only play.
Okay. Damn, okay. I can see it, bro. I can definitely see it. Like you said, and it's the Pistons. Like, yeah, what better look you gonna get than that? Okay.
Because I think they give up 7 blocks on the season. I do believe the Pistons do. It's like the Pistons and Charlotte are the 2 teams that give up the most blocks. So he should have at least 3 plus blocks.
3 plus blocks, plus money partner. Okay, LJ. Hey, best of luck on all your NFL plays too, LJ.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me kick it to Ben. Then Vaughn, I'm coming to you.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Happy Sunday, Ben. What's going on, my guy?
Not much. Freaking Kemba Walker ruined my Tim Hardaway Jr. play last night. Other than that, he just decided to play ball hog, you know.
Right.
But no, I'm with Dream on LaMelo. I played the points, but I mean, you could get behind either one. Obviously, like you know what we're doing. We're just gonna keep picking on Jamal Murray. The only thing better than having a plus matchup is a plus matchup when the player you're betting on is bigger than the guy who's guarding him.
Right.
You know, we're going to play a little bully ball with that one over the 21.5. And then I got to figure out a way to get behind Jaylen Brown. I was looking at PRA, but obviously, like, with another big man back for Boston, you know, with Robert Williams and just how big and long the Magic are, the rebounds may not be coming his way. So I'm either going to do points and assists for Jaylen Brown. Let me pull up the stat that I was looking at. Jaylen Brown, without Tatum in 6 games since the start of last year, is averaging 31.3. Going over in a little over half the games, this number. But obviously coming off a loss where he didn't shoot the ball that well. I think we get kind of that bounce back factor too. I think he was 7 of 17 from the floor. He did score 26 points, but he didn't shoot great, and he had some turnovers. He just didn't have a great game. So I think he's going to come out motivated here to get over that 28.5. I just got to figure if we're going to do the points or take the points and assists on the protection that he just decides to go facilitator mode. But I'm hoping that your Marcus Smart play catches, because that probably means this one does too.
Right. Yeah, a lot of ball movement is what we're hoping for.
No doubt. And then there was one other thing. Let me pull it up that I was looking at. Actually, you know what? That might be it. Sorry. Durant versus
Detroit.
Kevin Durant versus Detroit. Like, I don't see who can stick with him on that team, right? So if we don't know what lineup they're going to play at, because obviously they've been maneuvering the lineup a little bit, but odds are he's going to have Bogdanovich on him, right? If you think about it, so they're probably going to start Simmons. He probably gets either Bagley or Stewart, whichever one is going to play the 4 for them, and then probably Durant, if he starts, is going to be on Claxton. I mean, Bogdanovich is food, man. Like, and Killian Hayes, a decent defender at point guard, so he should at least be able to stay with Kyrie. Obviously, not going to shut Kyrie down, but he can probably stick with him. And if the game's close, we know that those two really just take almost every shot down the stretch. So if it is close, like you were talking about with those trends, the ball's just going to be in Durant's hands a lot. So I really like him today.
Yeah, I think the more and more I talk about it, Ben, the more and more I like the over in the game, overall too. Like I think this is typically when you get these teams that's like coming off like a big emotional win, you get a team that doesn't focus in on defense, especially if you're supposed to win the game anyway. So it just turns into a shootout. I think we saw that last week when the Lakers played the Detroit Pistons in before they came back home on the West Coast. That game was a very, very high scoring game. Lakers not playing, not locked in on the defensive end. And I think that's just the psychology of these basketball players. It's like, we know we better than them, so we just gonna keep scoring. You gonna score, we're gonna score, right?
No doubt.
Yeah. So
I think that's why we're seeing that same trend on Mondays, right? Like we know Sundays are a sleepy spot. Like Mondays are kind of turned into a sleepy spot too for teams that don't play on Sundays, just probably spending the day with family or something. On Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm with you on all those trends for sure.
Yeah. Not anything that I can quantify, but
yeah. But these are humans; they're not robots.
Right. No, that's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact. Okay. Best of luck to you, man. Hope you catch the plays, bro.
For sure.
Vaughn, what's going on, my guy? How you doing?
Yo, what's good, bro? You hear me good?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Vaughn?
All right. Hey, what's good, bro? Hold on. Let me turn the TV down. I'll have you on both.
Vaughn, can you hear me? You went out.
Yeah, my bad. You good?
Yeah, you good.
My bad. So, biggest bet I've ever placed has happened today. Jalen Duren rebounds. I got it at 8.5 on plus MGM. For plus money at that. Last 5 games, he's had 13, 12, 13, 19, and 14 rebounds. So killing his line, leading the league in rebound chances in the last 5 games. 7th in rebound percentage. He's getting 46% of his team's rebounds. But you got to play it on MGM or Hard Rock to get it at 8.5. FanDuel is at 10.5 for like minus 110. But yeah, I'm heavy on Jalen Duren rebounds. I don't know if you can ladder on any other sites, but I'm going to end up laddering them up to 14, but I'm just going to sprinkle on 12 and 14 since I'm so heavy on the 8.5. And then within this time frame as well, like he's been getting like 9 or 10 rebounds in the first half. Like I had him at 8.5 the other night. He cashed that like at halftime. So love Jalen Duren rebounds tonight. I'm on that Knicks first quarter money line. I didn't play the spread or anything like that. Just think they'll be winning the first quarter. And then I sprinkled on the Pacers under for a lot of reasons that you already talked about. I got the under at 29.5. Looking at the Pacers first quarter, we know they struggle in the first quarter. One thing we're looking at them, though, as well is something you say all the time. They don't back up success with success in the first quarter. They've only scored over 29.5, but so many times. The last 2 times they've done it, against the Cavs, they scored 31. They've only scored back-to-back 30-point games one other time this season. And they also lost both of those first quarters as well. So just always looking to attack the Pacers in the first quarter. So I went full unit on the Knicks money line, half unit on the Pacers under. Let's see. So those are my 2 favorite plays of the day. I went kind of heavy on those 2. I sprinkled on the Celtics first half. So just always looking to, get back with the Celtics on that bounce back spot. So I was able to run some SDQL stuff. Didn't get too far into it because it's still a little early in the day. But when the Celtics are a home favorite, coming off a previous loss, so far this season, they're winning the first quarter by 3, but they're winning the second quarter by 10. So that's a 13-point difference in the first half. So I played... I went a half unit on the Celtics first half spread at minus 6.5. And then if you look at that same trend since last year, I don't like to go too far back into last year, but with the Celtics, with them returning a lot of their players, but with no Tatum, so it kind of the trend kinda is still in, but it's kinda not. But they still win that first quarter if you count last year and this year. I'm sorry, they're winning that first half by like 8 or 9 points as well. So I sprinkled on that. I want a half unit on the Celtics first half. I'm gonna end up sprinkling on that first quarter spread as well. The only thing that's giving me a little bit pause on that first quarter and why I haven't done anything official is the 2 times that Orlando and Boston have played this season. Orlando scored 30 points or more in both first quarters. So I do see Boston coming in a little bit more focused today. I think I'm going to get there, but I'm going to do a little bit more research on that. And a lane right now is DeMar DeRozan points. Coming off a 14-point game where the Knicks smashed them from first quarter on. Love DeRozan to be able to bounce back tonight. And so that one is a lane. And then the Wizards first half total, or the Wizards and Lakers first half total, I think it's at like 115.5. No AD. I don't see a lot of defense being played. If Bill is ruled in, I like it a little bit more. I just see this game being high scoring with no defense. So I'm not finished capping. It's still a little early in the day. Got to about 9 o'clock. I do like the Thomas Bryant revenge angle. His rebounds is at 7.5. I'm gonna take a closer look at that. And then that Nuggets and Hornets defense optional in that game. I know I'm gonna get there somewhere with that one. Just haven't been able to cap full game or first half the way I wanted to yet. But again, heavy on Jalen Duren rebounds, ladder up to 14. Knicks first quarter money line, sprinkled on the Pacers under. Celtics first half official. And that's it. That's official for right now.
Okay. No, I like it. I like them, Vaughn. They all make sense, and we know Sundays typically don't make sense, man. So just make sure, and that don't go for Vaughn. That go for everybody. Make sure y'all, just if you want to reduce your unit size, you want to have only play the stuff that you love and not the stuff that you like. I couldn't talk anybody off of just chilling on Sunday. Couldn't talk anybody off of let me get Flash up here real quick, and then we're gonna shut it down.
Hey Chris.
Yeah, what up?
Oh, just quick question. Do you like anything with the Pacers today outside of them just being that 8.5 point dog on a Sunday? That trend has been cashing.
You said the Pacers or the Pistons?
I mean, Detroit.
Detroit. I think Detroit is an interesting live look, just because if you watch them at the beginning of the games, Detroit, you can tell in the first few minutes if they're gonna get blown out or not. Like early in the game. I think watching that game earlier, because I done bet against Detroit a couple times this year. Haven't been successful every time. We did catch the Kings -5 for the full game, but you can tell based on their energy and effort early in the game. This team is a one of the things that stops you from being a complete garbage team is your ability to be able to rebound the ball. And the Detroit Pistons can rebound the ball well. You kind of just alluded to Durham rebounding the ball, Vaughn, but teams like Detroit, teams like Houston, they just rebound the ball well. If you can offensive rebound the ball or defensive rebound the ball, that gives you more opportunities to not get blown out. And when we need a bucket because we done took the first quarter spread, but they getting the offensive rebound to kick out to a 3-pointer, then now it's a 5-point game instead of being a 2-point game. Those things can kind of kill you. So for me, it's an energy and effort thing. Typically, you don't see it as much with Detroit at home. And for me, I just don't. I think the Nets kind of let their hair down. A lot of the times we want to back these teams and we want to talk about the recent trends. This team has won 5 games and last 5-game win streak, yada yada yada. Sometimes teams just don't have it. I watched the interview on Friday with Coach Chauncey Billups, because I was on the Blazers. I was on the Blazers heavy on Friday. Took the +4. They just didn't have it. This was a team that was undefeated in the month of December, the hottest team in the NBA. They were 6-0 straight up, 6-0 against the spread coming into that game, and they absolutely got blasted, which is one of the reasons why I took them in a bounce back spot, because they didn't play a lot of minutes. I took them last night on the first quarter money line. They won that game in a trifecta spot. So what I'm saying, Vaughn, is that just because the team is hot, everything that goes up must come down. Everything that goes down must come up eventually too. So the Wizards gonna win a game eventually. right? The Charlotte Hornets gonna win a game eventually. These teams are terrible right now, but Sundays typically are their day. And I know we're talking about the Pistons. For me, this game isn't necessarily about the Pistons. It's more so about the Nets, how locked in they are. Are they still gonna be locked in, being that Kyrie just hit a game winner? Everything seems to be going, like really relatively smoothly for them. It's all like, unicorn and rainbows for them right now. I'm not 100% sure. That's something that most of the time we can't necessarily gauge until we actually see, once tip-off starts. So I couldn't talk anybody off of, live betting these games either.
Hey, I appreciate that, bro, because I'm with you 1,000%. Like you said, it's no way to fully cap motivation. I think we just seen it with Boston, Orlando Friday night. They came out a little unfocused. Team started hitting some shots. They start playing with hope. Now you're in a fucking dogfight.
Right.
Shots not falling.
Yep.
Boston shot 11 from 43. 11 from 43 from three-pointers the other night. And like you said, as soon as Sacramento started that game Friday night, and I seen in like the first 4 minutes, I was like, oh yeah, this first quarter spread in trouble.
Yep.
Like if I would have cashed that, I would have been extra grateful. But the thing, Detroit came out there like they was ready to play. And I think you tweeted it. You said Detroit looked like they wanted more.
Yep.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Shit did not cash.
Yep, that's a fact, Vaughn. I mean, and they did get a win against Charlotte the other day. They lost to the Lakers. You get them, like they off 2 days rest or a day of rest because they haven't played since Friday. You look at this Nets team on the opposite side. Nets been balling, man. They done won 9 of their last 10. Covering spreads. They done covered the last 3 spreads as well. 3 road games in a row. This is the 4th road game of a 4-game road trip before they host Golden State, which, Golden State is shorthanded, but they go back home and host Golden State on Wednesday. So potential look ahead spot, maybe for somebody like KD, maybe not. But I think I'm gonna stay off, as far as like looking at the spread on this one, Vaughn.
Appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely. Let me kick it to my guy Finesse. What up, Finesse?
Yeah, what's good, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. What you want today?
Yeah, so first of all, I wanted to bring up AD. We haven't spoke since last time I was here. Remember we were talking about the boost? That shit crazy, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah, blame Finesse for mentioning the boost. Like, nah, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
Nuts. Anyways, yeah, so I'm only focused on the later games or the NFL shit going on early. So I'm really just zoning on one guy, and that's LaMelo Ball. I know we had somebody talking about his threes earlier. It's just for a couple reasons. So Denver's last 7 games, Denver's allowing the most points, the most threes, and the second highest field goal percentage from the point guard position. And the defense overall has just been terrible. I mean, last 7 games, they ranked 27th in opponent points. They're not defending the 3 at all. They're giving up their top 5 in 3-point percentage allowed and 3-pointers made by opponents. So the defense is just not playing well. They had a couple of weeks earlier in the season where the defense was really clamping up. Maybe it's the injury to Michael Porter Jr. or whatever, but defense is not playing well. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to attack, whether it's just the regular points line at 21.5. Don't mind that. Or I guess kind of the safer option, the 20 plus and the 3+ threes. That's minus 120 on DK. That's the best odds I found. The 3+ threes is a good enough hit rate. I think it's 17 his last 20. He's hit 3+. 4 out of 5 this year. We know how many he's jacking up. That's how he scores. And with Denver being so poor defending the 3, I think it just plays perfectly into LaMelo's hands. So that's the guy I'm super focused on tonight. Haven't done much capping, but yeah, love LaMelo tonight.
LaMelo, yeah. Who mentioned Melo? Dream mentioned Melo. So yeah, I can see. I like the LaMelo look too. Finesse, love the Melo look for sure. Let me get Bookie up real quick. After Bookie go, we're gonna shut this thing down because I am trying to get upstairs so I can watch some football. Bookie, what's going on, my brother? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Bookie, you connected, my brother? Nah, I don't look like it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna let you connect, Bookie. Try to get you up, bro. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get connected, Bookie. Tried it, my brother. All right, so real quick recap. And I like the looks that were shared too, man. I love being able to live cap this stuff with people. The whole reason for the show is just to kind of get everybody ideas, mine and everybody else is included, so that we all can cash, man. Always free. All I ask is that you guys hit the like button for me, retweet, follow me on YouTube, all that good stuff. LaMelo. So I'm official on Marcus Smart over 7.5 assists. I talked about dumbing it down if you guys want to do like one of those $10 to 10K challenges. Like I said, shout out to Stick. If you guys looking to do something like that, I think Marcus Smart 6 assists with somebody like Durham, 8 rebounds, or 6 rebounds, something like that. If you wanted to take Durham out, target something in that Charlotte Denver game. Maybe it's Jokic's points, maybe it's LaMelo points, maybe it's even his threes. But dumb something else down and get you some good. All you need is close to plus 100. I think those are some really, really good looks. But official for me, I'm on Marcus Smart over the 7.5 assists. I got the under 223 on my best slip as well. I'm probably gonna get there with that. Just kind of, with the game not starting until another 2 hours, just wanted to make sure I'm not missing anything, which is why I didn't lock in a lot of bets. Knicks and the Pacers money line. Knicks first quarter, minus 114, also sitting in the best slip. Spread's been looking really, 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 really weird because it's down to a pick now. It opened at a pick. It went to Knicks plus 1.5. To Knicks minus 1.5. Now it's back down. Sunday, I'm staying away from that too. Brooklyn, Detroit, nothing for me official. Golden State, Toronto, nothing for me official. Chicago, Minnesota, still waiting on the injury news for Gobert and D'Angelo Russell. Charlotte, Denver, really liked the LaMelo look that was mentioned. Dream also mentioned Julius Randle, points plus rebounds. I do think getting there with Randle could be a good look today as well. Jokic could be mentioned. LJ gave out the Claxton look, 3+ blocks. Thomas Bryant, 8 revenge game, especially without AD. Somebody like Russell Westbrook, points plus rebounds or points plus assists could also be in play. The Durham look that Vaughn gave out, over 8.5 rebounds, is in play. And then Vaughn also mentioned DeRozan over his points in a bounce back spot against the Timberwolves team that's not playing a lot of defense right now. Also, they just don't got a lot of great defenders either. So couldn't talk anybody off of any of those plays, man. Like I said, hit the like button for me if you guys can. I'm going upstairs to watch football. Best of luck on your action. I'm back in the morning, 7 a.m. As always, the Cashed It with Chris show. Tap in with me there as well. Best of luck to you guys.